What's going on? What's up with it, y'all? Welcome to my new channel, Sports Against the Grain. This is my second episode. Yesterday, I made a debut video. It was about LeBron James, and it's titled LeBron Should Come Off the Bench. Well, this title is based on another millennial superstar that's dwindling, Paul George, PG 13, aka Podcast P. This one is going to be called Paul George Needs to Come Off the Bench. And I'm not throwing no hate towards Paul George. He's a Cali native. He 35 years old. He's from where I'm from out here. Not exactly. He grew up in Palmdale. He played 3 years of ball at Fresno State. And he's been in the NBA since 2010. He was drafted by the Pacers, as y'all know. He came in the league, coming off the bench, as a rookie, and he was playing under Danny Granger for a few years. And then, if you, most of y'all remember, or some of you guys probably weren't, I ain't gonna say not born, but you guys weren't really old enough to see, but Paul George was a superstar. Like by the time he's in 30 year in the league, he took the Pacers to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2013 and 2014, back to back years. Lost LeBron James, and since then he's only been to one conference finals, and he went with the Clippers in 2021, and they lost 4-2 to the Phoenix Suns. That was the year the Suns went to the finals against the Milwaukee Bucks and defeated them. And since then, he was injured in 2023 playoffs when the Clippers lost to the Suns 4-1. And then he lost. Then the Clippers lost in the first round, 2024, to the Dallas Mavericks. And in the past, and not in the past, but this past season, he did not make the playoffs. The 76ers are a garbage dumpster team. It's a shame to say that. But I'm gonna give you some reasons why I believe Paul George should come off the bench, and it's pretty obvious. If you've been watching basketball this season, you've been watching the Sixers play. So for the season, Paul George averaged 16.2 points. He had 4.3 assists and 5.3 rebounds a game, shooting only 35% from the field. He was still good at the free throw line at 81.5%. His field goal percentage was only 43%. When he was on the Clippers, he was averaging 20 a game every single season, 20 plus for those 5 seasons he was in LA. Another thing about PG 13, he's never averaged 30 points a game. He's only averaged over 25 once, and that was in his MVP runner up season with OKC in 2019, where he averaged exactly 28 a game. And it just seemed like he was going to peak and be that guy when he came to the Clippers, but he played 48 games his first year in LA in 2019, 2020. Then 21, he played 54. Then only 31 in 22. In 2022, 23, he played 56. Last season, he shocked the world and played 74 games. And this past season in Philly, he only played 41 games. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Tyrese Maxey, who's a younger player. I believe he's out of his rookie contract. He's been in the league. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, he made his first All Star appearance last season. He didn't make it this year only because he was injured. But Tyrese Maxey is averaging 26 a game and 6 assists. You know what I'm saying? And he's a point guard, and just got down his fifth season. And he's a superstar before our very eyes. And of course, you got Joel Embiid, even worse injured goods than him. Even this season, he was averaging 23.8, 8 and 4.5 assists, and he only played 19 games this year. So it's just evident that Paul George is declining before our very eyes. It's a shame because he actually plays through injuries as much as he can, unlike Kawhi Leonard on the Clippers. We all know that was a failed experiment for those 5 years in LA. But unfortunately, just like the LeBron video I did last night, Paul George has too much money to sit on the bench. He made 49.2 million this year, and the Sixers are stuck with him until the 2027-2028 season. He won't be a free agent till the end of 2028 season. And this season, he's gonna make 51.6 million. And in 2026-27, 54.1 million. And in 2027-28, he's gonna make 56.5 million. To be honest, he's already playing like a bench six man. He's already playing like a reserve player based on how he played this season. And it's really sad because PG-13, he hyperextended his knee in the beginning of the season. He missed a pretty big stretch of it. And if you watch his podcast, he was saying back in March that he was gonna start taking basketball more serious. He was gonna help the Sixers make a run. This nigga is so hypocritical, man. Like, aren't you supposed to do that while you in training camp or in the beginning of the season when Joel Embiid and yourself are both out? Like, and you see young Tyrese Maxey carrying a team on his shoulders. Like, shouldn't you want to be motivated then? Just lazy ass. He, he doesn't care about the game no more. He doesn't, and it's okay, man. Like the guy's paid. He's making plenty of money. He's worth over $200 million. I'm not knocking him based on his talent. I see all the Gen Zers, all the YNs like him, but he just never turned into that number one player. Like he only had that opportunity with Russell Westbrook in OKC, but he was averaging triple doubles. So yeah, I think Russell Westbrook got the MVP around that time or a little after. But anyways, PG-13, he was just been battled with injuries his whole career. He broke his leg back in like 2015 in Vegas at UNLV. And it's just a shame that his injuries took away his athleticism because before that, PG-13 was a dunk contest participant. He was an animal, as we all know. But the Sixers, realistically, the only thing they could really do is try to trade him. But 35 years old, and he's only going to give you about 40 to 50 games a season. And now he's not even averaging 20 games, down to like 16. I don't know. I don't know. The Sixers are in a deep hole and so are the Los Angeles Clippers because we know that he got traded in 2017 to OKC for Sabonis Sabonis and what's that dude's name did a 540 dunk on the Magic? Victor Oladipo. And then you fast forward to now, if you see how OKC has progressed, they traded Paul George to the Clippers for, of course, this season's MVP, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Danilo Gallinari. And 5 first round picks, I believe. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 first round picks. And one of those first round picks in the future in the 2022 draft was Jalen Williams. And look at the Thunder. Look at the Pacers. Both his former teams made it to the finals this year, as we all know. And OKC won a championship. They didn't need him. They didn't need Westbrook. They didn't need KD. So his value as a player is completely diminished at this point. He's still a name. He'll still sell tickets. He has a Gen Z fan base. A lot of young guys in the league now look up to him. I don't know. I don't know. The Sixers are completely screwed. They're gonna have Paul George for another 3 years, and then they got Joel Embiid. Whew, they're stuck with Joel Embiid until 2027, I want to say. Yeah. No, no, my bad. 2029. So at the end of 2020-29 season, it's stuck with Joel Embiid. I think Paul George needs to hang it up as a starter in the NBA, man. His best days are long behind him. I think he could help a team contributing off the bench. There's one last thing before I get out of here. You know, I'm looking at the Sixers depth chart, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of VJ. Edge Cone, he's a rookie out of Baylor. This guy is the real deal, man. He was like the second, third overall pick this month. If you look at his highlights against the Spurs last night, he's dunking, he's aggressive, he's fast, he's got footwork, he's in turnaround mid-range jumpers. He could very well take his spot, but I don't think the Sixers will do that. You know, Kelly Oubre is not really that type of player. He's just a 3 and D guy. He's always hurt. And Justin Edwards was a rookie last year. They just resigned him for another year, I believe. They don't really have anybody that can start over him, but the Sixers are in a whirlwind of trouble. You know, PG-13 was entitled. He felt he should have deserved more money from the Clippers, and when you got two top 75 players like Kawhi and James Harden, you're gonna be a third wheel, man. And now he's a third wheel on the Sixers. That's overpaid. He's paid like he's the first option or the second. But yeah, man. Hope PG-13 gets his shit together, man. And you gotta think he already used to sitting on the bench. All he does is sit his ass down on the podcast. It's boring. Nobody really cares about it. I only watch when there's good guests on there. But I'm not knocking him, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was a fan of him coming into the league, man. He's on like a year or two younger than me. But yeah, until next time, like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm out.